Learn how to use reflect get method to retrieve the value of an object property. So here's my boilerplate code, and we're going to be going over this example together as we are going to be looking at how you can use this the reflect get method to retrieve the value of an object property using a function call instead of standard dot or bracket notation. So here I am in my script section, and I'm going to go ahead and create a data object. Create a data object. So here I'm going to go ahead and make a user object, and the user object is going to have a name. Let me call it Joe, and I can also add age and call it maybe 40 or 35. So here is my data object, and now it is time to do a functional check. And the functional check that I'm going to do is just going to be functional check. I want to retrieve the value of the age from what I have in my object, age property. So how do I do that? So in a traditional or standard JavaScript, in old JavaScript rather, not old JavaScript, yeah. So the way you would do this, in a standard JavaScript, that is old JavaScript, you will probably have something like this. Let age equals to user.age. So with dot notation, then you can extract the age as a property from your object. But in this particular example and in this particular lesson, we're looking at how we can use the reflect get method as against the old or traditional way of using dot notation to extract a property from an object. So this time around, it is going to be a variable declaration, and then I'm going to call on this reflect and the get method. And inside the get method, I'm just going to pass the object as well as the property that I want to extract from it. So this can either be a single or double quote. So now that I have extracted this, then I can go ahead and then display results on the screen, and in a very simple way. So I will just use document.get element by id demo and dot inner html equals to a. I don't want to call age directly, so let me put a simple text, age plus age. So and now if you look at the screen, of course nothing is going to be displayed because of this ID. So I need to change this to demo and not demo one. So you can see age 35. So now if you go ahead and use the object key to check the what we have inside our object, you are still going to see the correct elements, even though we are getting one from it. Getting a property of an object is not the same as deleting it. So since we are not deleting it, we are still going to get two properties, which are the name and the age that belongs to our object. Normally you read a property value from an object using a dot or bracket, but the reflect get method turns this reading action into a formal function call. You can see that the way we are calling our reflect.get method here, we are passing in an object and a property. It does the exact same thing, but it makes the property lookup formal and highly predictable. It's cleaner, and it makes our code more elegant than the traditional old way of trying to access the property of an object. So this example reflects how this get method of a reflex read the value stored under the H key from the user object and return the number, which is then printed directly on the screen. So in this example, we drop the traditional dot notation completely by executing this new modern way of fetching property of an object. So we ask the JavaScript runtime engine to fetch the value for us. It seamlessly look inside the user block here, grabbed the age, which is 40, and then tagged it over to our variable, which is age here, all through a single standardized function call. So now, if you now look closely at this code, you might want to ask that why write a full method when user.age is shorter? If you can easily just go ahead and do this, let age equals to user.age. Fine, this seems shorter, right? Now, why do we now need this, a full method, if we can just use the user.age method that is shorter? Well, the reason why is that you see this particular method that we have here, it shines when paired with a proxy handler. A proxy is just like a guard at the entrance of your object that controls what happens or what you do with the property of your object. So it shines well when you pair it with a proxy handler. So when you are creating a custom get method trap to intercept objects, you can simply forward the incoming parameters directly into your reflect.get method. So this guarantee you your custom proxy handles things like prototype lookups perfectly without requiring you to manually write fallback logic in case something happens along the processing of your code. So that is one of the reasons why this method is far better and is recommended than a traditional way of using a dot notation to access the property of an object.